Hello, how are you? I'm finally here. I'm in America. I'm in Los Angeles. In fact, I'm in Hollywood. I'm at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, which is where we're staying while we're here in LA. We're here for a few days to shake the jet lag. And to give you a little bit of insight, we left Australia at 11 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and we arrived here in LA at 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. So we've travelled back in time, and the jet lag has shaken our bodies up a little bit. So we slept for about 15 hours last night, and here we are poolside at the Hollywood Roosevelt. I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek. Check it. My kids are busy making friends with the locals. All the young people here just look so incredibly fit and tanned and healthy, and like they spend their whole lives hanging out at pools in Hollywood. So I am thinking about some things that I want to be doing while I'm here in LA, and some things that I'm going to be doing while I'm in New York. So we leave here on Friday LA time. Hey Patricia, you would love it here, my love. When we head to New York, we head to New York on Friday LA time. Don't ask me what that is in Australian time. I guess it's, I don't know. I'm lost already. Hey Chris, welcome. So with my time here in LA, I'm going to start the ball rolling with a daily live stream, and some of it's going to be just a little bit of a touristy feel. Some of it is going to be sharing some fun with you. Tomorrow we're heading to Harry Potter World at Universal Studios, and some of it is going to be sharing insights as they happen, and of course some of it is going to be sharing the exciting things I'm going to be doing here while I'm in the States. So as you know, I'm meeting with my agent when I'm in New York. I was actually meant to have a meeting with him today, and I got the time all screwy. I thought it was tomorrow. Never mind, I'm sure he'll forgive me. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff. So a daily live stream too here from the States. I'll aim for afternoon time here, which will be morning time there. So hopefully we'll be able to still talk live with each other for those in Australia. And also I'll be here at a respectable time in America so that those in America can join me live and share the fun too. So today I know, Chris, you're going to have to watch tomorrow around... it's going to be tomorrow morning. We're heading to Harry Potter World, which will be tonight. Your time? I don't know, I think. So anyway, while I've been here, I've been actually thinking about a few things that have... So big thing for me, being in Hollywood, of course, it's very touristy. Everything's a reference to film. Everywhere you go, there's something to remind you of film. And so for me, a memory has popped up that is actually quite relevant to what I'm doing, generally speaking, and what I'm doing specifically while I'm in the States. So I take my sunglasses off, but it's a bit bright. Oh, there we go. Hey Amanda, welcome. So while I was on the flight traveling across the Pacific Ocean, I watched the film Bohemian Rhapsody, and there was a line in the film which was a perfect setup for what I'm about to talk about. And the film was great. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But the line in the film that really sat with me was the scene where their prospective manager was asking them what was so special about Queen. What was so special about them in comparison to every other rock band that wanted to be signed by this particular agent. And what Freddie Mercury said in the film was that Queen, they were a bunch of misfits. They didn't belong together. They was a bunch of misfits who found each other, and they sang music, they performed music for every other misfit who was sitting in the back of the room feeling like they didn't belong. And it really got me thinking about so many of the conversations I have with mentoring clients and others around feeling like a fish out of water, or feeling like you don't deserve a seat at the table, or feeling like you don't belong in some way. And then, of course, arriving here in Hollywood and finding images of Marilyn Monroe everywhere. The stereotyped image of Marilyn Monroe, the blonde hair and the flowy red dress and that sort of stuff. It reminded me of a time when I was a teenager, and I was never really interested in Marilyn Monroe as an icon until I saw the film The Misfits. So you can see how it's sort of coming together here, right? So the film The Misfits was about a bunch of people who didn't really belong together, but they found each other, and it was an amazing film if you've not seen it. Black and white. And it was controversial at the time because it was deliberately filmed in black and white, even though colour films obviously were available. Stunning film. I think it's Marilyn and Montgomery Clift. And I think it's oh gosh, all I can think of, Rhett Butler. Who played Rhett Butler? You know, the handsome dude. I've got my jet lag brain on. It's going to come to me. No, I'm gone. Vivian Lee and, oh Jesus, what was his name? Anyway, them, the Misfits. So yeah, there's this thing about Misfits, right? It's a theme that runs through a lot of the work that I do, but also a lot of what's about me, you know, a lot of what I am about. So when I feel challenged, when I feel a fish out of water, when I feel I don't belong, I've always felt that. I've felt that since I was a teenager. I felt that since I was a kid. In fact, I remember being 6 years old when my parents divorced, feeling like I was the only kid in the world that had ever happened to. Like I really felt out of place. And for the rest of my childhood, I moved around a lot, went from school to school to school, lived all over Australia as a result, because my parents, not only did they divorce, but it's all right, I'm doing a live stream, you're not on camera yet. But a lot of, my parents moved all over Australia as well. So, you know, we were all over the place growing up. And so I always was a new kid. I was always the fish out of water. And that was the story of my childhood. And I guess, you know, that line from Queen really holds true, that as a misfit, I speak to the misfits who are at the back of the room. Not that you guys are misfits in any sort of stigmatised way, don't get me wrong. But what I mean is we all feel sometimes like there's something different about us. Now, I think entrepreneurs feel that a lot. I think that for entrepreneurs, the definition of being an entrepreneur is that you're not happy with the norm. You're not happy with the 9 to 5. You don't want to do what everyone else is doing. You don't want to just work for the man and, you know, buy the house with a picket fence and do what everyone else is. You don't want to do what's assumed of you. You know, you're breaking the rules. So we are misfits in the best sense of the word. The absolute best sense of the word. So I think, yeah, Chris is saying this is why we all get along so well together. It's so true, you know, it's so true. We are all rule breakers. You know, I've been called a ringleader by somebody very special. I've been called a rule breaker. I've been called all sorts of, I've been called narcissistic. I've been called manic. I've been called all sorts of things. And I just, you know, I think that at the end of the day, it's all about thinking differently, and that's what we do. We think differently. As entrepreneurs, we don't think about things the same way as everybody else does. We don't think about how do I ask my boss for a raise. We think about how do I employ the right people. We don't think about how do I get a job that's going to pay my mortgage. We think about how do I have the freedom to work the life that I want to live and live the life that I want to live. You know, we have the same concerns and fears and worries as everybody else. We want to pay the bills, we want to pay off the mortgage, we want to do all that stuff, but we come at it from a completely different perspective. So, my merry bunch of misfits, I'm very, very happy to be talking to you from LA, from Hollywood, but I'm also really, really glad that I've got this opportunity because it's thinking outside the square that got me here. Hey, Lisa! Lisa's in New York. Hey, my love, how are you, darling? I'm talking about us being a merry band of misfits and all thinking a little outside the square, and it's our misfitness that makes us unique and powerful, because it takes a bit of courage and a bit of power to think differently. So, you know, a year ago I was in America, almost a year, it was the middle of May, so almost a year ago I was in America, and I came to America then for a reason that people thought was completely bonkers, right? I came to America for 3 days to an event in Las Vegas where the lovely Lisa and I first clapped eyes on each other. And it was a crazy thing to do, and I knew it at the time. I knew it was completely insane at the time to be doing something so out of the square. But I also knew it was going to be one of those moments where I looked back going, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I did that. And you know what? I wouldn't be here if I hadn't gone there. I wouldn't be here now if I hadn't come here then, because you know what, I was here then to attend a function run by Mel Robbins. You know I'm a huge fan of Mel's, and great friends with her and her team. It was because of the courage and the confidence of having done that crazy trip that I first spoke with Hank Norman a few weeks after I got home. Just happened to be commenting on a live stream of his, and then we continued the conversation in Messenger, and that's how the conversation naturally led to me having a conversation with Steve Carless, who is Hank Norman's business partner and my agent in New York. So, thinking outside the square can lead you into all sorts of mischief, and that's what Misfits do. So today, what's my broken confidence challenge? Well, when I say broken, I'm going to smash this, right? So the pool, surrounded by the lovely, beautiful people. I'm going to have to get in my bathers and get in the water, because I promised my children I would. Now, I don't even swim at home at the aquatic centre surrounded by people of varying shapes and sizes, let alone a bunch of star-studded wannabes. So I'm going to get in the pool. I'm going to do what I said I'd do. I'm going to embrace my misfitness, and I'm not going to be Miss Fitness. I'm going to be the misfit that I am, and get in this pool with an audience, which is kind of how it feels, when there's a crowd of people sitting around the pool and you're going to strip off and get in. Hey, Rachel. Rachel has challenged me many, many times to go swimming, and since I have had that conversation with Rachel around how I don't do pools, well, I don't do water, I don't do swimming. I used to be a lifesaver, for God's sake. I've been in the pool a few times, Rachel, so you'd be very proud of me now. All right, so I'm going to have a swim. I'm going to have a gin and tonic by the pool. I'm going to have something to eat. My kids and I are just going to hang out here while we smash this jet lag, and we're going to have a great afternoon. Tomorrow I'll be at Harry Potter World, and we'll do some live streaming from there, and no doubt I'll do some live streaming from... I may not be able to live stream from Harry Potter World, but I'll definitely take some video that I will share with you, and then I'll do another live stream tomorrow afternoon. So there'll be a daily live stream while I'm here, so you will not miss a minute of the action, the excitement, and some of the insights that I gain along the way. Thank you so much for joining me live today, all of you. So Rachel, Melissa, hey, thanks for welcoming me to the US. It's only been 24 hours, but it's been pretty cool so far. I'll talk to you all again soon. Much love. Bye.